Very good morning, friends. Basic questions about ISO 27001, 27002 we will discuss. Very important from the interviews point of view. And I had earlier posted the basic changes between ISO 1 to ISO 2. These are the like I can say transition changes. So I hope video is really helping you. So let's move to our main course without further delay. Going to slide. Shall, should, may in ISO. Very important from the content point of view. Where to use shall, should, may. So if you can see shall in ISO document, then it indicates the requirement. That is something that must be done. That is, this is a requirement, right? Which is mandatory, we can say. Should indicates the recommendations part. It is a potential, or we can say this is a optional but good idea. That means uh, you you may or may not be uh, like implement, right? It's just a recommendation. Next is may indicates the permission. That means uh, like someone's approval would be required, right? Let's try to explain with an example. You need access, right? So for grant the access, like a change manager or the domain manager approval would be required. So may be used in such places. Going to the next slide. You have to implement the ISO 27001, right? From where you take the guidelines and the recommendations. So if we talk about the implementation of ISO 27001, you need to refer the to 27002. If if we can check here, this actually two, right? This actually two. You need to refer 27002, right? What are the differences? Differences in terms of scope. What is the main difference? Information security management system is the scope of 27001, right? ISMS is the scope. And if we talk about ISO 27002 code of practice and guidelines to implement the ISMS, right? That means 27002 always focus on the guidelines to implement. A next area is focus. So ISO 27001 focus on the information security, and 27002 focus on the specific control, right? Specific control under 27001, right? Guys, there are just an example. There is a control called governance, right? So 27002 mainly focus on the governance part, right? What are the methods for implementations, right? How can we implement, right? What are the methodologies, right? What is the risk associated with it? I mean, just a kind of deep and drive of the governance part. Next area is the use cases. Use cases 27001 is applicable for all types of organization and standards. And 27002 applicable as a reference to all organization who want to implement the 27001. Next is the certifications part. Yes, organization can gain the certification 27001. Um, and if we talk about 27002, ISO doesn't offer any certifications. Next question is ISO 27001 sufficient to meet the GDPR? The question indirectly saying that if we can take only ISO 27001, does it will like cover the requirement for GDPR as well? The answer is no, because ISO is a certification in a different context, right? And GDPR is a certification from different context. So GDPR covers dedicated processing and security of data, right? This is dedicatedly for processing and security of data. However, ISO 27001 is like just cover the information security policies, right? What are the requirements, right? like why can we use or adopt ISO 27001, right? Like it's just covered the end-to-end organization. For example, how can organization can be run in market? So 27001 tells from this context. And GDPR is regulated. If we talk about the GDPR, guys, right? GDPR is regulated by EU and regulated by European Data Protection Board, right? Which is mandate for every organization. However, ISO adherence is not mandatory. It's only recommendations. Coming to the next part, on which principle ISO 27001 based? Yes, very important, guys, right? Because see, you know the answer, you already knowing the answer, but this answer is related to this question you don't know. I know that. So PDCA is just a principle of ISO 27001, right? So if a question says that on which principle ISO 27001 is based, so answer is PDCA, right? If we can go deep and dive, so P particularly relates to the plan. So context of organization, right? Second one is the leadership, right? Third one we can check as a risk management is strategy part. Next is do options. Do means you can take actions which can support an operations and a point of view. Third, from the check domain, the performance evaluation should be checked. And last is the improvement part, which relates to the act part. So this is all about the today's session, guys. Thank you so much. Next videos I will publish on this Thursday, and this is the approximately ending of ISO 27001, right? After this, I will publish the videos. We can discuss the starting of GDPR. This is the next request from one of the subscribers. So I will first study and collect the interviews questions and like from my colleagues or anywhere. So on next Thursday, you will see the final content from ISO, and then we will come on the GDPR part. If particularly you have another questions, right? You need some specific topics you want me to cover, then share your questions on the comment box, right? I will try to recover those also. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.